Page 12. Page 12. Blessed be the Lord my rock. 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 Blessed be the Moody's in the house. 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 Blessed be the storm that's on its way. 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 Blessed be the snapping turtle on the moon. 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 Blessed be the tasty dinner we ate. 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 Blessed be the garden growing green. Be the garden growing green. Blessed be the garden growing green. Blessed be the garden growing green. Page 26. 26. Each person could take a verse. Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God who sets us free. Oh Father of mercy, oh Mother of peace. Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God who sets us free. Oh Father of mercy, oh Mother of peace. Blessed be the Creator of all the earth. God has come to you among the poor sets us free. O Father of mercy, O Mother of peace. According to the promise made long ago, God has brought us freedom. Sound the trumpet of a new day. No fear, no violence, and no enemy. Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God, who sets us free. O Father of mercy, O Mother of peace. God has remembered the holy promise, the promise of Abraham and Sarah, that all people of this world would live free, together, like the stars of the sky, and radiant on the earth. Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God, who sets us free. O Father of mercy, O Mother of peace.
God will lead us to the knowledge of peace and the forgiveness of our own sins. Because of the tender mercy of our God, the sun will shine upon us in our darkness to guide our feet into the ways of peace.
Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God, who sets us free. O Father of mercy, O Mother of peace.
We will be called the prophets of the Most High, speaking truth to power, like voices in the wilderness, crying out with the poor, crying out for justice.
Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God, who sets us free. O Father of mercy, O Mother of peace. Blessed be God, blessed be God, blessed be God, who sets us free. O Father of mercy, O Mother of peace. Page 14. Page 14. Holy Spirit, come to my aid. 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 Come, Holy Spirit. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of justice, Spirit of loving kindness. Holy Spirit, come to my aid. 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 Trust in God, all you people. Trust in God at all times. For Pour out your heart to God. Trust in God's love. Holy Spirit, come to Holy Spirit, come to Holy Spirit, come to Holy Spirit, come to my soul waits in silence. Silence for God alone. My soul in silence. My soul for God alone. Holy Spirit, come to Holy Spirit, come to Holy Spirit, come to my head. Holy Spirit, come to my head. Holy Spirit, come to Holy Spirit, come to my head. Come to my head. Come to my head. To my head. To my into the silence we pray.
We're reading from Harper Palmer's book, Rector Lights. Listen to the voice of vocation. And I think we're on page 7. I'll read a paragraph and pass it around. I read it. This is what the poet says. Ask me mistakes I have made. In the chapters to come, I speak often of my own mistakes, of wrong turns I have taken, of misreadings of my own reality, for hidden in these moments are important clues to my own vocation. I do not feel despondent about my mistakes any more than the poet does, though I grieve the pain they have sometimes caused others. Our lives are experiments with truth, to borrow the subtitle of Gandhi's autobiography. And in an experiment, negative results are at least as important as successes. I had no idea how I would have learned the truth about myself and my calling without the mistakes I've made. Though by that measure, I should have written a much longer book.
How are we to listen to our lives is a question worth exploring. In our culture, we tend to gather information in ways that do not work very well when the source is the human soul. The soul is not responsive to subpoenas or cross-examinations. At best, it will stand in the dock only long enough to plead the Fifth Amendment. At worst, it will jump bail and never be heard from again. The soul speaks its truth only under quiet, inviting, and trustworthy conditions.
The soul was like a wild animal, tough, resilient, savvy, self-sufficient, and yet exceedingly shy. If we want to see a wild animal, the last thing we should do is go crashing through the woods, shouting for the creature to come out. But if we are willing to walk quietly into the woods and sit silently for an hour or two at the base of a tree, the creature we are waiting for may well emerge, and out of the corner of an eye, we will catch a glimpse of the precious wilderness we seek.
That is why the poem at the head of this chapter ends in silence, and why I find it a bit embarrassing that as this chapter ends, I am drawing the reader not towards silence, but towards speech, page after page of speech. I hope that my speech is faithful to what I have heard in the silence from my soul. And I hope that the reader who sits with this book can hear the silence that always surrounds us in the writing and reading of words. It is a silence that forever invites us to fathom the meaning of our lives, and forever reminds us of depths of meaning that words will never touch.
Chapter 11. Now I become edition of vacation. The 21 words that you chosen and are to be working may start with the quest for vacation, at least my quest for vacation, with candidate and decision. Now I become myself. It takes time, many years ago. I have been resolved and shaken, born, covenant, and faith. What a long time it can take to become a person, one with all of how often in the process we mask ourselves, do things that are not earned. How much dissolving in the state of ego must be endured before we discover our deep identity. It seems like within every human being, letting it perceive authentic vocation.
I first learned about vocation growing up in the church. I value much about the religious tradition in which I was raised. Its humility about its own convictions, its respect for the world's diversity, its concern for justice. But the idea of vocation I picked up in those circles created distortion until I grew strong enough to discard it. I mean the idea that vocation or calling comes from a voice external to ourselves, a voice of moral demand that asks us to become someone we are not yet, someone different, someone better, someone just beyond our reach. That concept of vocation is rooted in a deep distrust of selfhood, in the belief that the sinful self will always be, quote, selfish, unless corrected by external forces of virtue. It is a notion that made me feel inadequate to the task of living my own life, creating guilt at the distance between who I was and who I was supposed to be, leaving me exhausted as I labored close to death.
Today I understand vocation quite differently, not as a goal to be achieved, but as a gift to be received. Discovering vocation does not mean scrambling towards some prize just beyond my reach, but accepting the treasure of true self I already possess. Vocation does not come from a voice out there calling me to become something I am not. It comes from a voice in here calling me to be the person I was born to be, to fulfill the original selfhood given me at birth by God.
It is a strange gift, this birthright gift of self. Accepting it turns out to be even more demanding than attempting to become someone else. I have sometimes responded to that demand by ignoring the gift, or hiding it, or fleeing from it, or squandering it, and I think I am not alone. There is a Hasidic tale that reveals with amazing brevity both the universal tendency to want to be someone else and the ultimate importance of becoming oneself. Rabbi Zusa, when he was an old man, said, "In the coming world, they will not ask me, 'Why were you not Moses?' They will ask me, 'Why were you not Zusha?'"
Enough of this in there. Would you mind reading what you read one more time?
It is a strange gift, this birthright gift of self. Accepting it turns out to be even more demanding than attempting to become someone else. I have sometimes responded to that demand by ignoring the gift, or hiding it, or fleeing from it, or squandering it, and I think I am not alone. There is a Hasidic tale that reveals, with amazing brevity, both the universal tendency to want to be someone else and the ultimate importance of becoming oneself. Rabbi Zusha, when he was an old man, said, "In the coming world, they will not ask me, 'Why were you not Moses?' They will ask me, 'Why were you not Zusha?'"
So, we're talking about vocation, becoming who we are. How can it be both demanding and a gift? I thought gifts were kind of nice and soft and sweet and fuzzy. It's better to see this, I think. How can it be both demanding and a gift?
Patience.
Maybe your life more my dad received a gift once from his brother. And they always joked with each other. It was a lovely shirt. It was a beautiful gift. But it was inside of a wooden box, totally nailed shut. And my dad had some difficulty getting to the gift.
Part of it, in mindfulness, we call the animal self, or sometimes ego. It has all kinds of ideas of what it wants to do. And the natural self, when the gift comes through who I am, often is a bit different than the ego's ideas. And it's demanding to just calm down the ego and say, yeah, I'm going to be this being of love or peace or whatever the moment calls for. It doesn't feel natural all the time.
There's an edge to it.
Because the person in the habit of being an ego has to give up its opinions or preferences to answer the call of that voice for love and peace. So it takes a demanding choice to say, all right, I won't just flip you off, I will ask you what you need. And sometimes it spells when that's hard work.
Really fun. How can it be both a demand and a gift at the same time? So you remember, I don't know, maybe you've not seen it, but has anybody here not seen or read Lord of the Rings? Particularly the third installment, The Return of the King. Okay. So, in The Return of the King, in the third film, Aragorn has to make a choice. The numbers of the enemy are too great. He cannot defeat them. And he realizes that he's going to go into battle anyway. He's Aragorn, and he's going to die. But right at the last minute, Elrond appears, the elfin king, and he brings with him the sword. The sword that defeated Sauron long, long ago. And he presents this sword to Aragorn, and he says something like this: let go of the ranger and become who you were born to be, namely the king. And he's been avoiding that for a long time, for whatever his reasons. He just didn't want to respond to the gift and the demand to be king. That's who he was. And so he shied away from it. But in that moment, he accepted it, both the gift of the sword and the demand to become king and use the sword in a way that would bring peace to the realm And he knows that he might not return from this battle. He knows that he will be killed in it. And of course, right away, he's required, remember the next thing he does? He goes underground, so to speak. He goes into the realm of the dead. Scary stuff. I mean, Gimli, the dwarf, is scared spitless when he realizes he was following Aragorn and what's the other elf's name? The young elf. Legolas. Into the mountain where the dead live and the murderers in this realm of the dead. And they go in. Horses are terrified. They run away. The dwarf wants to run away, but he says, "Oh, I would never hear the end of it." It says, "No." An elf goes in where a dwarf would not, right? And then he waddles in, to the scary things about to happen. So Aragorn knows his calling to be both gift and demand. Something that is deeply consoling and deeply challenging at the same time. And he says yes, not knowing what's going to happen. And that's the key, not knowing what's going to happen, but saying yes to it. It's a great scene, it's a great moment. So, any other thoughts before we close in song?
Just add to that, it seems like maybe the greatest challenge of your life is to know who you are, and to take that responsibility to find out, to let go of the thing that it's easy to be that you've fallen into, or that came from prior circumstances. To really look within and find your place in the world and who you are and become that is so demanding, but what a gift to then know who you are and your purpose and flow in life in a way that you couldn't have imagined prior to that demanding.
What is the demand?
To look truthfully at yourself, maybe, or to quiet the mind and the voice of everyone around you telling you who you are, and to look honestly at yourself and find out for yourself.
Does it have anything to do with action? Or is it just looking within and going,
I believe maybe it starts looking within, but it must materialize. It must be in thought, word, and deed at some point.
Aragorn had to leave the woman who had fallen in love with him. Right? He had to leave everyone and everything and go into the realm of the dead. He had to act. Right? Yeah. That's the end. To actually be who you are in the world and not run from it. We'll close with a song. Words are, arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one, arise and come with me. The voice of call in the thicket. I'll sing it once and then join. Arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one, arise and come with me. Arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one, arise.
Arise and come with me. Arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one. Arise and come with me, Master. Arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one. Arise and come with me. For now the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone. When flowers appear in the meadow, and behold